We got Director Dave pick finally.
Oh, we finally got one.
Yeah, we finally got an anytime touchdown from Kenneth Walker, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Cooper Kupp.
Wow.
At plus 2363.
Woo.
Plus 2363.
That's really good juice for the three guys.
Yeah,
I mean,
I like that,
Walker's
actually.
probably going to score no problem. It's Marvin Harrison's the one you need to worry about.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp I worry about too.
Right,
too,
I mean,
just
he's
because
not doing too much.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that, like, he's injury prone too, so I would hate to get that blown up in his first quarter injury, but, it's the NFL, it can happen to anybody. Like I said,
At 23.63, that's pretty good juice.
Yeah, that's pretty good juice for those 3 touchdowns, so that's good shit right there. Friends, countrymen, fellow degenerates, welcome back to this episode of Bets and Buds. We're the Buds helping you cash your bets. I am Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
I haven't been smoking too much lately, brother. The
No?
book has been
It's been quiet.
The book has been kicking ass. The book has been kicking my ass.
I haven't hit the first one, and I hit one in week 1, and I've been on a dry spell since.
It's been. I don't even want to discuss my dry spell. Like the story of bad beats. Bad beat central is what you can call my neighborhood right now, brother. All right, but let's go ahead and dive in this thing here. You got any Blues action before we jump in here?
No, just the Blues are in the middle of preseason right now. We've got, 2 weeks until the start of the regular season. You've got about 4 or 5 guys battling for 1 or 2 spots. So, and as far as Carbonneau goes, the Blues' first-round draft pick of this year, they're saying there's a real chance this kid could stick.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So, Dvorsky and, Steinberg and all those guys, some of them have less of an outside chance to stick. Dvorsky maybe. Snuggerud actually went down in practice today.
Really? Oh,
so he slammed into the board real hard. They're right now preliminary. They're saying nothing wrong, but it's something to watch out for because that kid. We need him on that second line.
Oh yeah,
sniper.
Absolutely. Yeah. He showed a lot of promise last year, but
yes.
He's a hockey player. He's tough. He'll be back.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Just one more thing before the Cardinals somehow are still not eliminated from the playoffs.
Because the Mets suck.
Yeah, the Mets do suck. There ain't no doubt about it. And the Reds haven't taken advantage of that situation either. Because the Reds are trailing the Mets by 1 game, and the Cardinals are 3.5 games back. But, if they happen to win all 4 of these games and the Mets continue to keep sucking out, like you could end up like that 82-80 tie and then having that 1-game playoff to see who actually gets in. Yeah, it would be gross, man. I didn't expect it because we had written the Cardinals off, a month ago.
I still got them written off.
Oh, they're written off without a doubt. And there's no way, I probably wouldn't even waste my time watching the game even if they made it.
No.
But for them not to be eliminated is actually quite crazy. 78-80.
It's a wild season, baby. Baseball is a long-ass season.
The big thing is the epic collapse going on by the Tigers.
Yes,
right
the Tigers blew a 14.5 point lead.
15.5 game lead.
15.5 game lead, yeah.
That with like a month to go in the season, and it's gone. Yeah, the Indians actually tied them up last night.
Yeah, they lost 7 straight. I mean, it's just crazy. The Guardians.
Yeah, the Guardians. Whatever. It'll always be the Indians.
I know, I get it.
Unless they scrub major leagues off the face of the planet.
I know, I get it. All right, so let's dive into the college football action here. We're not going to go in too deep dive into this because, again, I don't bet on college kids.
Right.
Keeping track of everything with that. But we do have a big slate this weekend. We got Notre Dame at Arkansas. So that's going to be a tough. Arkansas really isn't that tough right now. Notre Dame kind of blew
Arkansas
out Purdue.
Is pretty bad right now.
Yeah, but they're going down. It's just a tough environment for them to play at. Notre Dame's got to win every game they possibly can until they get to SC. Then you got USC at Illinois, who Illinois got dog walked by Indiana last week.
Yes, they did. 63, nothing?
Yeah, 65, I want to say to 3 or so.
Yeah,
no, maybe it was, I think maybe 11, 10 or 11. Yeah, I think they got the double digits.
That was gross.
But I mean, they dog walked them.
Probably the matchup of the week would be LSU versus Ole Miss, 4 versus 13.
But you still got Oregon at Penn State, too.
Oh, yeah, okay, you do have that.
And you got Alabama at Georgia. You got Alabama at Georgia, too, as well.
I fully expect Georgia to win that game.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, because it's a rivalry game, SEC. You just never know what's going to happen. You got Ohio State having to go out to Washington. And then Auburn off a tough loss against Oklahoma. Oklahoma lost their quarterback.
Probably shouldn't have lost that game because, I mean, the SEC did come out and say that definitely should not have been an allowable play.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been, but, it was a tough.
Hey, we've had it happen here in Missouri, the phantom 5th down.
Right.
Like, we've had some crazy shit.
Yeah, we've had some crazy stuff, So, but Auburn is going in at Texas A&M, who looks tough right now. Texas A&M looks tough. So, I mean, it's going to be a big college football weekend.
Yeah, because, I mean, you're getting into conference play now. You got Tennessee, Mississippi State, Arizona, Iowa State, and that ridiculous thing they call the Big Ten.
Yeah, I know. It's just weird. I mean, like I said, again, they need to just combine the conferences the way they do regionally, and then we just move on from there.
Missouri with a big win last week. They did take care of business, even though Sellers did play in that game and passed all over them. Missouri's secondary looks pretty horrendous right now.
Yeah.
But they're winning the games they should. They got UMass this weekend and a week off, and then the big game will tell you exactly where they're at because they play against Alabama, and we know Alabama dog-walked them the last time they played Alabama.
Right.
So
we'll see how it goes from there. All right, so diving into the Week 4 slate here. Last week was a crazy week in NFL football. A lot of blocked field goals.
Yes, that was insane.
A lot of pick sixes to the house. I mean, it was a wild, crazy weekend. Nobody saw. Apparently, the Browns had the best defense in the league because they pretty much handled the Packers.
They shut down the Packers.
Yeah,
no
they
problem.
shut down the Packers, and so it made it no myth of them doing what they did to Derrick Henry the week before.
Dallas definitely has the worst defense in the league.
I don't know. The Ravens statistically right now.
I get it, man, but to let the Chicago Bears just do that to you.
Yeah, I mean, it was embarrassing.
Jerry's world.
Because, not only were they giving up those big plays, but these guys were wide open. This was complete blown assignments. But I wasn't a big Eberflus guy when they brought him in anyway. I mean, they just kind of... It didn't really excite me when they bringing him in as a defensive coordinator. But so this week we got the week starting off. We got the Seahawks at the Cardinals. Seahawks at the Cardinals. Cardinals with a devastating loss of James Conner last week.
Yeah,
James Conner with the ugly, gruesome dislocation of the ankle. Seahawks look good. They're both Seahawks are 2-1. Cardinals are 2-1 after a tough loss against the Niners last week. Last minute field goal. Seahawks are 1.5-point favorites going into Arizona.
I like Seahawks. I like Seahawks to win this game. I think they do. Arizona just hasn't shown me enough on offense this year. This Seattle defense is actually pretty good.
Yeah. Sam Darnold has looked good too.
And Sam Darnold looks fine. So give me Seattle to cover the 1.5, win this game, and I like the over 43.5.
See, I'm like total agreement, except for I like the under.
You like the under in this one?
Yeah, I just think it's gonna be hard sledding, put up some points here. The Cardinals might come out a little bit flat because James Conner was also their emotional leader on that team.
He's a veteran leader.
That's gonna be tough.
He's a baller.
Yeah. So but I like we're in total agreement. I just like the under on that.
Okay.
All right, so next up we got the Vikings at the Steelers. The Steelers came up with a big win against the Patriots last week.
This one's in Dublin, correct?
Yes. This is So we got this one is the Ireland game. So it's gonna be a wake up game for us here.
It is.
So who do you like this one?
Minnesota looked really good against the Bengals last week, but that Bengals team is in total disarray right now. That defense isn't good. The offense probably isn't going to be very good.
Well, and they also went up against tough Brian Flores.
They did.
Flores is
Browning, he hadn't played a game in 2 years, damn near. So
they got Harrison Smith back, and he's like their quarterback on their defense. When you watch some of the things that they were doing, when you go back to rewatch a lot of that game, they ran a lot of exotic coverages that really that's tough for any veteran quarterback, let alone somebody like Jake Browning who didn't have a lot of experience. Plus, they also had a little motivation because the last time he went in and beat the Minnesota Vikings when Joe Burrow was hurt, and he's like, "You never should have fucking cut me. You never should have cut me."
I didn't even realize he was on
the Vikings. He was on the Vikings, right? He was on their team 3 times, like sign, cut, sign, cut, like 3 different times, like during the course of one season. So, with that being said, I like the Steelers to win this game in Ireland.
I also like the Steelers to win this game.
I think Carson Wentz is going to turn into Carson Wentz.
Yeah, he'll turn into the pumpkin.
Yeah, just because last week, you had 2 defensive touchdowns by Isaiah Rodgers, turnovers and sacks galore. I don't think there's Aaron Rodgers. You're not going to get the same results out of that.
Right.
And with that, I like the under at 40.5.
You like the under? I'll take the over at 40.5 on this one.
Yeah, I'm thinking and liking to see that. You would like to think the Steelers are going to kind of figure it out defensively here because a lot of what they're doing is a lot of blown assignments, really, and they just really getting manhandled.
Yeah, and they're a better defensive team than that.
Yeah, they better be with as much money if they spent on it.
True.
And they just have the main thing I'm watching with them right now is they have no discipline with their lane assignments when it comes to the running game. So you say you like the Steelers?
Yeah, I like the Steelers. Like we're getting the 2.5 points for the Steelers. I like the over, and they'll win that game.
All right. So next up, we got the Eagles at the Buccaneers. The Eagles at the Buccaneers. It's been an interesting matchup the last couple of years. They've met in the playoffs.
This will be the 6th time they've played since 2022.
Yes, they played a lot,
and they've all been in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it's been interesting. It's going to be an interesting matchup here. The Buccaneers actually lost Mike Evans, so he's out with a hamstring injury. So you got to watch that. Emeka Egbuka has looked amazing though. Still. And Baker Mayfield has looked awesome. He's had 3 comeback victories in the first 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah, well, that was the stat I seen today, and that they've led for 1 minute and 5 seconds on the season.
Yeah.
1 minute and 5 seconds.
But 3-0. It shows you how close the competition is in the NFL. With that being said, though, for me, the Bucs are 3.5-point dogs going at home. I like them to cover that 3.5.
Yeah, I'll take that 3.5 as well.
I can see the Eagles winning a late field goal, and the Eagles obviously winning the game outright. And I like the over at 44.5.
You like the over on this one? I like the under in this one. I think it's just going to be one of those tight games because actually the last 5 meetings that they have, they've averaged 44 points. Mm-hmm. So you're actually picking the statistically right one. Right. I think this one's just good. The Eagles really haven't looked that great offensively yet.
I think with the way they had to open up the playbook a little bit when they went down to the Rams early last week, that they had to come, they had to open up the
they had to
game.
start flinging it around.
Yeah, they had, because they were down 26-7 at one point in that game.
That was a crazy comeback.
It was just crazy comeback, and then, shout out to Jordan Davis with the big block, scoop and score by a damn near 300-pound man.
He was motoring.
Yeah, he was moving. Nobody can catch him. So that's a big victory, but like I said, I like the Eagles to win that one, and I like the over.
Okay.
All right, next up we got the Saints at the Bills in the game of the week, because the Saints, they pretty much looked how everybody has predicted.
Yeah, they're bad. They're bad. There's no doubt about it.
16.5-point dogs.
You got 16.5?
Yeah, 16.5.
I got 15.5.
Yeah, 15.5. Yeah. I had 16.5-point dogs is what I got through FanDuel. So with that being said, who do you like on this one, Bobby?
Obviously, I like the Bills to win this game. Give me the over 47.5. I think the Bills could probably score 49 on their own. But with that being said, the Bills could be looking past this game just a little bit because they got a big game coming up next week. So I'll take the 15.5 points for New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm going to take the 16.5 too as well. That's just a lot of points.
It is.
That's a lot of points, but obviously the Bills on the money line, and I like the over as well. I have 48.5.
All right. We're all in agreement on that one.
Yeah. All right. So next up we got the Browns at the Lions. The Lions who look like They kind of found their way again here.
They did.
Last week they kind of really took it to the Ravens, more surprisingly than what I thought they were going to. They ran the ball all over them.
Gibbs and Montgomery were outstanding.
Yeah, they just couldn't stop them. Shout out to my fantasy team, for Dave Montgomery coming hold no serve for me.
He come back and won that one.
Yeah, because I was going to be 0-3. If I had lost that one, I would have been 0-3. That would have been rough.
Yeah, it's been a rough fantasy season so far.
Yeah, it's been a rough one. I've played the 2 high scores to start off the season, so like that last thing I needed was another run like that against me. So thank God for David Montgomery. But that being said, like we talked about it, man, the Browns sneakily might have the best defense in the NFL, man. They're going to be this is going to be a tall challenge for the Lions.
Yes,
here.
no, that it is legit without a doubt. You come in, the Packers, everybody was calling them the best team in football. They're going to the Super Bowl, and they pretty much shut them down.
And I knew when they pretty much stayed 3-0, 3-0 all the way through that first half, and then the Packers put up a touchdown early in the second half, and it's but they just never could pull away.
Nope.
They could never pull away, and I was like, man, they're going to mess around and lose this game to the Browns.
And they did.
Because the NFL, you cannot let teams hang around like that.
With another blocked field goal.
Yeah, another blocked field goal. It was crazy. That was one of the craziest Sundays we've seen in a while. That's why it makes the NFL such a great league to watch. And
the egregious thing in that game is the Packers not running the ball on 3rd and 3, and Jordan Love threw that pick, which allowed the Browns to have 28-yard.
Yeah,
to score the touchdown.
And it was a bad pick.
Oh, that was a terrible pick.
The problem is, though, I can't fully argue with that call just because the fact the Browns are showing that they can't be run on that easy, man.
Right.
You look at what they did to Derrick Henry the week before. That was no fluke. 24 yards rushing from Derrick Henry the week before.
But, your defense has only allowed them to score 3 points. I'm thinking maybe even if you do have to punt the ball, or you put yourself in a position for a push tush,
Yeah, but it's not everybody can do that play.
Right.
That's the thing.
Right.
The Eagles make it look a lot easier than what that play is to execute. So I got 8.5-point dogs for the Browns.
Man, I've got 10 right now.
You got 10?
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me recheck that. It was 10 earlier.
I would take that 10 on.
Yeah, no, I'm taking the 10 if it's still. Yeah, it's 10 on
10. Yeah, that might have gone. So it might be the 9.5 now through FanDuel.
So yeah, give me that 10 points by the Browns. I think they'll keep this one a lot closer because the Detroit defense isn't that great either. So.
No. But I even at 8.5, I like the Browns to cover that just because of how good they are defensively. Right. And I like Lions. I obviously like to win outright.
On the money line.
And I think it's going to be under 44.5.
I like the under as well.
Yeah, I think the under is going to be because in order for them to win it, the Browns even have a chance in this game, they're going to have to keep it close.
Yeah, close.
Got to keep it close. All right, so next up we got the Titans and the Texans, 2 0-3 teams out of the AFC South.
Yep.
So
somebody's coming away with a win.
Yeah, somebody's coming away with a win, because it's been a rough. I mean, the Texans has been a rough go. They did not do C.J. Stroud any justice by basically demolishing that offensive line by getting rid of Laramie Tunsil, and the offensive line wasn't that good with him last year.
Yeah, even with them.
Yeah, so I mean, again, I don't know what they're doing. Also, they got one more week without Joe Mixon coming back because right now Nick Chubb, he was going to be a thumper for them, but he's definitely
he's serviceable right now, but he's just
not healthy. There's way too many injuries. So I like the Titans. I got them at 7.5-point dogs going into Houston.
Yeah, I will take the 7 points.
Yeah, so I'll take the 7.5. I think the Texans will pull that victory out, and I like the over of 38.5.
You like the Texans to win on the money line?
Yes, I like Texans to cover the money line.
You like the over?
Yeah, I like the over at 38.5 because I think that's just a little low for this game. I can see a defensive touchdown here or there, a special teams touchdown here or there. And then before you know it, you hit your over.
All right. I will actually take the under in this one. Both of these teams are pretty inept right now. I think they might just punt to each other all day, like 13-10 or something like that.
And for this one, too, I kind of did something a little different this week, too, as well. I like Nico Collins for an anytime touchdown in this game. Yeah, so I got a couple. I went through and kind of picked up some anytime touchdown scores for each game, and Nico Collins give me the anytime touchdown.
Well, he needs it to get his confidence back up because he's had some pretty horrendous.
Yeah, it was a rough fumble at the end of the
the fumble
week.
too.
It was a rough fumble at the end against Jacksonville last week. All right, so next up we got the Chargers at the Giants. The 6.5-point favorites of the Chargers are. They look good.
Yes.
Jackson Dart is now the starter.
Yes.
Probably the last of Russell Wilson being a starter in the NFL, barring whoever he's backing up gets injured. For me, there's really not a whole lot to write home about in this one. I think the Chargers are going to cover.
Chargers control this game, can dominate, and I like the actual under in this because I don't think they'll let the Giants score, and they'll score like 30 by themselves.
I think they might put up maybe 2 touchdowns possibly with Jackson Dart, because he's a little bit more mobile than Russell at this stage of his career.
True.
And he's got a bigger arm. He doesn't throw as pretty a deep ball as Russell, but he's got a bigger arm where he can get the ball out to Malik Neighbors. So I can see them getting the over at 44.5. But I think the Chargers cover and win outright. I just don't think there's really a whole lot. Jim Harbaugh is 8-2 against rookies and 4-0 against rookies with the Chargers. So. I think that's pretty much going to be a wrap. And Keenan Allen, I like as your anytime touchdown scorer for this game.
All right. I like that. I thought about him earlier, but I went a different way.
All right. So next up, we got the Commanders at the Falcons. Commanders are 2.5-point favorites on the road against the Falcons. Michael Penix looked god-awful last week against the Panthers. I mean, absolutely awful. I mean, he got pulled in the fourth quarter. The game was pretty much out of hand. 30-0 blanking against the Panthers. Like I said, the Panthers are going to be my sneaky cover team this year, but I still didn't see them blanking them 30-0.
No, not 30-0.
Yeah, I mean, it was just an ugly, ugly performance by Michael Penix. I think he completed 50% of his passes, only 147 yards, 2 INTs. It was just a nasty, nasty performance.
That's the crazy thing because Atlanta was supposed to be. I mean, even with Penix, they had high upside fantasy-wise this year. And, Drake London, Bijan Robinson, and
they're supposed to unlock Kyle Pitts.
There's been nothing.
Just nothing. Yeah, I mean, because what you're seeing is all the defenses are basically loading up the box again and saying, Penix, you got to beat us because we're not going to let Bijan Robinson beat you.
Yeah, we're not going to let Bijan.
Yeah, so I like the Commanders to cover that. 2.5-point favorites, obviously, to win. And then I like the under at 45.5.
I like the under as well.
All right, and then Bijan Robinson, that's my anytime touchdown score for this game. All right, so next up we got the Panthers, who we just talked about, who put it out on the Falcons last week, playing against the Patriots.
They did, in Foxborough.
Yep, so it's going to be in Foxborough here. But again, remember I told you the Panthers are my sneaky cover team this year.
You did. I will take the 5.5 points this week.
Yes, I will.
Is that what you got?
Yep, I got 5.5 as well. I think the Panthers will cover that. I think the Patriots will win at home, and I like the over at 43.5.
Oh, you like the over? I like the under in this one.
Yeah, I just can see the points. I haven't seen any lockdown efforts out of the Patriots defense right now. I do like the way Drake May looks. What's his name? Kevin Booty. He has been balling. Now, Ramondre Stevenson, he's probably going to get some of his carries reduced after the 3 fumbles that he had last week.
Henderson, and even Gibson fumbled last week, too, and he's supposed to be the veteran.
I mean, that's really the only reason why they lost that game. I mean, 2 turnovers were on the goal line. You had an interception on the goal line. You had a fumble on the goal line. I mean, that's 14 points right there.
Yeah, they shot themselves in the foot for sure. They should have beat Pittsburgh all day.
Absolutely. But you know what? Pittsburgh's an opportunistic team. That's what they do. They find ways to pull out victories against young, inexperienced teams like that. And I like Chuba Hubbard as my anytime touchdown scorer for this game.
All right. I like that.
All right, next up we got the Colts at the Rams. Colts at the Rams. The Rams with a tough loss against the Eagles last week.
Super tough loss.
Anybody who had the Rams to cover last week, that's what you call the epitome of a bad beat. They were down by one point.
Yeah.
They had going to kick a field goal to take the lead. They get a field goal blocked. It gets taken to the house. That 3.5 cover that they had was erased immediately, and all of a sudden you got the Eagles winning by 8 points. So
that was
that's the epitome of what you call a bad beat right there in the gambling world. But they're 3.5-point favorites against the Rams. The Rams are 3.5-point. I'm sorry. That's right. They're 3.5-point favorites against Indianapolis. That's right. They're 3.5-point favorites against Indianapolis. It's in L.A. First real long travel for the Indianapolis Colts.
They're flying across country, and I mean, don't get me wrong, the Colts have looked damn good, but they
look amazing. But if you look at the combined record of the teams they played,
it's bad.
I mean, they've got basically
1-8.
Yeah, but exactly. I mean, because you got the 0-3 Titans, you got the 0-3 Dolphins, you got the 1-2 Broncos. So I mean, there's really not. I mean,
and they should have lost that Broncos game.
Yeah, the Broncos game. I mean, you got a leverage penalty that you got that they won that game on.
Right.
So with that being said, I like the Rams to win this game, cover the 3.5 points, and I like the over at 49.5.
You like the over in that one?
Yep,
And you like the cover too, huh?
Yep.
By the Rams? All right. I'm taking this. I think Indianapolis keep it close, so I'll take the 3.5 points.
So you think like a field goal win?
Yep, and give me the under as well.
All right, my sneaky anytime touchdown scorer this week is Blake Corum. He's actually done some damage on the goal line down there for the Rams this year. So,
he has.
Yeah, he is actually. They've been giving the ball a lot on the goal line, so I like Blake Corum as my anytime touchdown scorer for this week. All right, next up we got the Jaguars at the 49ers. The Jaguars at the beat-up 49ers who lost Nick Bosa for the season last week.
He's gone.
Yes, he's gone with torn ACL.
Kittle's still out.
Yeah, Kittle's still out. I mean, it's going to be a kind of game-time decision with Brock Purdy. Mac Jones got a little banged up last week, too. So, I mean, the 49ers always end up being the mass unit. They just always do somehow, some way. They still find ways
somehow
to win.
They're still undefeated.
Yeah, they still find ways to win games. But with that being said, I like the Jaguars to actually cover this game and also pull out the victory straight up on the money line. I think the Jaguars didn't look horrible so far this season. The 49ers, like I said, again, being that mass unit right now, they're so beat up on defense, and they're so beat up on offense, too, as well. Christian McCaffrey, I don't know how healthy he's going to be able to stay because he's getting a lot. I mean,
he is getting a lot of touches.
He's getting a lot of touches right now. So we'll see what happens there. But I like the under at 46.5 on this.
Okay, we agree on the under, but I like San Francisco to serve home. I mean, Jacksonville's flying even further across the country than Indianapolis. So, San Francisco to cover, money line under.
And my anytime touchdown scorer, I actually have two for you possibly. I get Christian McCaffrey or Travis Etienne. Either one of those that you might like.
McCaffrey has not scored a touchdown.
He has not, but I find that it's going to be the time he's going to get in the end zone.
I've got him in my parlay.
Yeah, I'd like him getting in the end zone this week. All right, so next up you got the Ravens at the Chiefs. Ravens at the Chiefs could potentially be the game of the week. They're both 1-2 right now. Ravens with two tough losses that they just didn't finish out the game, really, at the end of the day. Late fumbles by Derrick Henry in every one of these games so far, which is
uncharacteristically, too.
Uncharacteristic for him, to be dropping the ball. But what do you do as Derrick Henry? You're not going to sit Derrick Henry, at this stage of the game. So they're 2.5 point favorites. The Ravens are going into Kansas City, which is a rare thing to go into Kansas City being favored. But Kansas City does not look in sync at all.
No.
Even with that victory against the Giants, they did not look good. You got Travis Kelce and Andy Reid arguing on the sidelines. There just really is no cohesiveness in the offense.
There's no running game right now.
No running game at all. Pacheco running backwards. I mean, there's one of the plays. He's like, he's running back. What are we even looking at, dude? Like, you're running backwards with your head towards the end zone. I mean, your opponent's end zone. Like, that made no sense. So right now, the Chiefs look all the way bad. I like the Ravens to go in and get this win in Kansas City and cover that 2.5 points, and then give me the under at 48.5.
Okay. I like the over.
Yeah, I don't see how the Chiefs score that many points, and I don't see them giving up that many points.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the main reason why I kind of led to the under on that one. And again, I like Derrick Henry as my anytime touchdown scorer though in this game. All right, so next up we got the Bears at the Raiders. Bears at the Raiders. So Bears look like the Super Bowl champions, best offense in NFL history, like the greatest show on turf. Again, like throwing flea flickers for wide open bombs and
flickers.
I mean, the Cowboys defense can't get any worse. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Cowboys aren't going to be worth a damn until Jerry Jones dies. I'm sorry, and I hate to ever root for the death of any man because I don't wish that upon anybody. But until Jerry Jones is out of the picture, the Cowboys are going to look like this. They're going to be this type of team. And we got Micah Parsons coming this week. Sunday Night Football, so I just don't even want to imagine.
He's going to wreak havoc.
He's going to wreak havoc. We got CeeDee Lamb out of the picture. I mean, it's just going to be bad. So The Bears, we go at the Raiders. The Raiders haven't really looked as great as you would have thought. Some offensive line issues. Ashton Jeanty really hasn't been able to really get going yet. Brock Bowers is a little banged up with that knee injury.
Yeah.
So with the Bears going into Las Vegas, I like the Bears to cover that 1.5 points, win outright on the money line. And I like the under at 47.5.
I like it as well. We're in agreement on that one. Yeah, I think right now the Bears, I mean, they might be starting to get a little more grasp of that offense and got a little more confidence playing Dallas last week. That's for damn sure.
How could you not? But it's false confidence, though. That's the thing.
Well, we'll find out this weekend. But, yeah, the Raiders are super banged up right now.
Yeah. So, and my anytime touchdown scorer I like in this game is Jacoby Myers.
Okay.
Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, not Jeanty, that's for sure.
No.
He looks terrible.
Yeah, he looks like he's struggling in pass coverage right now.
Oh, yeah, the pass coverage is really bad.
Yeah,
if you watch the tape. He's just whiffing.
Yeah, his run blocking, and even just like the decision of who to pick up. Like you could just tell. Like, he was definitely not asked to do that at Boise State. Definitely not asked to do that at Boise State. So we'll see. But that's usually what most rookies struggle with the most when they come into the league. Usually, that's why I used to always give Ezekiel Elliott credit for that. He was a great pass blocker,
yes,
but he played in a pro-style offense in college at Ohio State. And so that's what helps get those type of backs ready for the league. All right, so the next up, we got the Packers at the Cowboys. So let's go ahead and gloss through this real fast.
Yeah.
I think you know how I feel about this. 6.5 point favorites for the Packers coming into Dallas.
They'll cover.
Yeah, they're going to cover. They're going to win. I like the over at 47.5
like
because I can see the Packers putting up 35. There's nothing the Cowboys have shown me to think anything otherwise right now. You gave Russell Wilson, who is no longer the starter of the Giants, 490-something yards passing at quarterback. Who cares?
Okay, for some reason I probably didn't think this one through when I actually filled it out, but I took the under, so I'm just going to stick with it. I'll stick with it.
And give me Jake Ferguson as my anytime touchdown scorer.
He is going to get like 30 targets.
Yeah, he's gotten so many targets this season, especially with CeeDee Lamb being out. So, just give me Jake Ferguson as the anytime touchdown scorer.
Yeah, and Pickens' body language looks pretty bad
Oh,
already.
it does. I watched one of the running plays. When he was sitting there, Javonte Williams gets a ball, he's burst through the line. And you saw George Pickens didn't even leave the line of scrimmage. He literally stood there. I was like, this is what they were talking about in Pittsburgh.
Right.
This is what they were talking about in Pittsburgh. And it sucks because the kid's so talented, but he's costing himself so much. With as much money as receivers are getting paid right now, he is cost himself so much money. So much money. All right, so now we got another doubleheader for Monday night. Monday night, we got 2 games here. We got the Jets.
I don't like the Monday night doubleheader.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, but, it is what it is. I thank God that we have it this week, even though they're not really the greatest of matchups, because we have the Jets and the Dolphins and Bengals and the Broncos. So we'll start with the Jets and the Dolphins. Who do you like in this one, Bobby?
I like the Jets to win this one. I mean, if Tyrod Taylor plays again, which he probably should if the Jets want to get that first win of the season, I think they can go down to Miami and win this game. So I'll take the 3 points, the win, and the under.
So we're in a total agreement on that one. I got them at 2.5 points, so I'll take that 2.5 to win. And I like the over at 44.5 points.
You like the over?
Yep, I like the over.
Right.
Don't have any time touchdown score for you for this game specifically, but if I were to throw one out there for you, I'd say give me Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I would say Garrett Wilson myself.
Give me Garrett Wilson. The secondary of the Dolphins isn't really much to write home about. All right, next up we got the Bengals at the Broncos. Pathetic performance by the Bengals against Minnesota last week. Playing against the Broncos, who need a much-needed victory going into this game because they can't lose pace to the Chargers.
Yeah, no, everybody's already 2 games back. They lost the tiebreaker.
Yeah, everybody's looking up at the Chargers right now. So I like the Broncos to hold serve at home, cover the 7.5 points. Yep. I got them, and obviously win the money line. And give me the under at 43.5.
I'll take the over just because I think the Bengals can probably score a little more than the 10 points they did last week.
I don't know. Broncos defense is tough, and again. I don't know.
We know Cincinnati's defense isn't that great, and I think the Broncos can put up 28. So I'm just looking for 17 out of your Bengals. Come on now.
Right. And it might give you anytime touchdown score. I got J.K. Dobbins for this one.
Okay.
All right. So the last thing I got for you this week here is I got my Thursday night parlay here that I'm going to throw out there for you. What I like is I like the Seahawks on the money line. Trey Benson to score a touchdown since he's in for James Conner and his injury, and I like the under at 43.5. If you give me that, you put that's a plus 791 for that game. So actually, I'm sorry, no, it was a plus 1,005, plus 1,005. So I like the Seahawks money line, Trey Benson anytime touchdown, and the under hit at 43.5 points.
I like that one. Okay, my parlay for the week is give me a Taylor touchdown, Indianapolis Taylor touchdown. Give me Devontae Adams touchdown, Benson anytime touchdown, and McCaffrey to score his first touchdown of the season. That's plus 1,009.
Nice. All right, so we got Director Dave pick finally.
Oh, we finally got one.
Yeah, we finally got an anytime touchdown from Kenneth Walker, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Cooper Kupp.
Wow.
At plus 2363.
Woo.
Plus 2363.
That's really good juice for these three guys.
Yeah,
I mean,
do. I like that,
Walker's
actually.
probably going to score no problem. It's Marvin Harrison's the one you need to worry about.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp I worry about too.
Right,
too,
I mean,
just
he's
because
not doing too much.
Yeah, I mean, you should see that, like, he's injury prone too, so I would hate to get that blown up in his first quarter injury, but, it's the NFL, it can happen to anybody. Like,
At 23-63, that's pretty good juice.
Yeah, that's pretty good juice for those 3 touchdowns, so that's good shit right there. All right, that's all I got for you this week.
That's all I got.
MotoGP this weekend.
Oh, we got MotoGP back. They were on a break, wasn't they?
Marquez can win the championship if he wins this.
How many races are left?
Surprise.
6, so he can win the championship with 5 races left. And, that's not a good look for the sport, though, Dave.
He's on fire.
And that's why I say... All right. Shout out to Director Dave for keeping us up with the 1s and 2s. Shout out to True on the track and blessings with these beats. I'm Jason Smoker Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
We'll see you next week.
Peace.